This is Bishop Dr. Truman Burst. Master Herbalist, coming to you from Good Shepherd Ministries.
So the lines are open, and we're off and running here today. Does anyone have a question or a comment before we get started? Does anybody have a question or a comment? Go ahead and speak up now. No questions, no comments today. All right, well then I'm going to ask Sister Kashakia, what's the presentation going to be about today, Sister Kashakia?
Shalom, it's going to be on protein. Protein ties into the AGE, so I've been doing some studying on what's going on and going around with what they're calling gluten-free. So I've been kind of digging into that. So today's topic is going to be on protein, and specifically the protein gluten. What's going on that everything's going gluten-free. So I'm going to be talking about that. So are you ready for me to come in, or were you just asking me for the topic?
Well, if you're ready, then let's go ahead. I don't want to, one thing about, if you invite a guest to join you and like the wonderful information that Sister Kashakia has, you don't want your guests to sit there and wait. I have been on broadcasts where I have sat and waited for hours, and then at the last minute they give you a few minutes. And no, we don't do that here. Sister Kashakia, if you're ready, we're ready. Tell us all about proteins, please, okay?
Okay, give me about 2 minutes. I've got our family cat that has decided, I guess, help me talk about protein because she's all over my research. So just a second, let me get her moved on my paperwork, and I'll be right back on.
All right. We're going to, we are graciously going to wait for a couple of minutes here while I kind of get lined up with. And again, if you have a question, unmute your mic. You can press the star key twice. If you want to unmute your mic and say something, we want to hear it. So be sure and, press your star key twice if you want to unmute your mic and say something. And I see that Sister Janice has joined us here from Grenada. Sister Janice, how are you today?
I'm fine.
Good. Has this information helped you so far?
Yes, it has.
Good. That's what we, this is important. I'm not here just to blab on about, my 55 years of experience and the 14,000 natural remedies that I've created. I'm sincerely here to find out what's working and how these things can be improved, and how there might be some other ideas on your journey to improving your health. Some ideas that we can share, and sometimes it's changing from one product to a different product. Maybe you're going from golden seal to myrrh, and so forth. There's adjustments that we make in our journey to better health. And by the way, talking about better health, the telephone number that you want to jot down right, and I'm going to give you a telephone number, and that's to call the folks at Better betterhealthherbs.com. Betterhealthherbs.com. That's the folks that manufacture all the natural remedies that I've created over the past 55 years. I don't get anything from it these days because I've been so hounded by our government, the FDA, and right now, as a matter of fact, they have been hounding Better Health and Herbs. And I mean harassing them, just being there day in, day out. And then they tell you they're coming in, and then they don't show up, and then they say, "Oh well, we're going to come back tomorrow or the next day." You never know when they're going to come in and interrupt, us trying to help people and manufacture these natural remedies. It's my family that is doing that because I'm not allowed to do that anymore because of the FDA. I don't dare to try to manufacture natural remedies and so forth. But I can talk about the natural remedies that I've created and all the things that we do to help people. And again, so it's been about 2 minutes, and I'm going to check on the Sister Kashakia and see if she's ready with her presentation.
Yes, I am.
About proteins. About proteins. Okay. Go ahead, Sister Kashakia.
Well, I'd just like to say hello, everyone, and give all praise to the Most High for bringing us to another week of a segment to be able to share natural remedies with people and be a blessing to people. So I just want to give praise to Him first for bringing us together again this week. My name is Kashakia. I always talk about a topic called AGEs, which is an acronym, and I stutter like my father. Forgive me. I've been talking all day long today. I did a presentation. I'm working with a lot of senior citizens now because they are a batch of people that typically don't get the nutrition that they typically need. And so they are definitely some people we've got to make sure we don't let slip between the cracks. So you got to forgive me. I've been overloaded with the gift of gag today. So going back to what I'm talking about on the topic of AGEs, to kind of understand what I'm going to go into today with protein, I'm going to start off with what I always start off with, which is giving the understanding on what is food. We hear that word food, but I always like to go to the Zondervan Bible Dictionary every single show that I get an opportunity to speak on to get an understanding on what is food, because as we're going out to the supermarkets and Walmarts and wherever we're going, we need to understand what is food. So as we are spending our hard-earned dollars that we work for, we can make sure that we are getting good use and getting the right kind of food. So the Zondervan Bible Dictionary talks about food, and it says it's a nutritive material taken into a living organism to sustain life, to promote growth and the repair of the tissues, and to give energy for the vital processes. So many people, I'm not for sure who's new on this show today, but many people that know my story, I always tell it again, I am a cancer survivor. I was diagnosed with anal cancer in the year 2011, and I was healed supernaturally by the Holy Spirit, have paperwork to prove it. And I also use this product that I talk about, Tahitian noni juice, to help my body assist itself in getting the nutrients to regenerate the new cells, to help me put my body into remission. And I've been cancer-free since 2012, and I've been moving forward talking about these AGEs every since then. So food, again, is a nutritive material, and I had to use food to help me in the process of battling the serious, horrible disease called cancer that so many people worldwide deal with. So I am a cancer survivor. I work with many cancer patients as well as people that have absolutely healthy immune systems, and they're just looking to enhance their immune system so they don't end up having cancer. So I market for a company called Morinda. Previously in the past, it was called Tahitian Noni International, but it has been renamed Morinda, which is the scientific citrofolic name for what they call noni. And I like to always start off letting people know that there are many different nonis on the market. Someone today said, yeah, I heard a doctor on TV talking about how good that noni is, and I had to help her understand that he's not talking about the same noni, but the benefits are good. But there is such a thing, what we call phony nonis out there on the market. And this noni is featured in a book called the Medical PDR, which is a physician's best reference book. And it gives you all of the descriptions of the benefits of this product, as well as the documentation that there's absolutely not one side effect listed to using this product. Because what are you talking about here? Simply a food. So food is supposed to be able to help you sustain life, give you nutrients that are alive and living in the food, and it also plays the role of being able to repair the tissues and to give energy for the vital process. And a lot of us today are very, very fatigued because food that's giving us energy, which goes into talking about protein. So I decided to do some homework on gluten, because there's a big epidemic going on here where everything is going gluten-free, but we don't really know enough why is it going gluten-free and what is even gluten all about. And some people, I hope they've been doing their own homework on gluten just to get some more idea, because probably just within the last 2 or 3 years, this big topic on everything going gluten-free just now begins to come out. So I kind of highlighted 5 things that, I came across to just kind of share on the same topic of speaking about the AGEs and talking about AGEs. What are AGEs? And AGE is an acronym that stands for Advanced Glycation End, END, Advanced Glycation End Products. What are these? These are harmful compounds that are entering into the body through the food and beverages that we consume every day on a daily basis. If you look around, everywhere you turn, they are sticking sugar in everything, from ketchup to mustard to your ground beef, your ground meat, your turkey, water. I mean, everything on the shelf today has some type of sugar content loaded in it, and it's just absolutely ridiculous what it's doing for people's health. And so it's causing people to have premature aging, which is what these AGEs are all about, because once the AGEs latch on to the vital organs such as your heart, your liver, your lungs, your joints, your muscles, whatever it is going on that's vital, these AGEs begin to, I tell people, think of a car that has rust. If you've ever seen an old car in the backyard and the car is rusted because the paint job has begun to start chipping away, this is what these AGEs do to your heart, your muscles and joints, and et cetera, and et cetera. And so therefore it's kicking people into premature aging, meaning that you're aging faster than what you are chronologically. So AGEs is a serious topic. It's globally, social media, everyone is talking about these glycations out there and what's going on with them and how can we manage them and be able to put them under control. So as we went and did more research, when I say we, meaning the company Miranda and the food scientists here, they began to really dig into these AGEs and see how they are literally starting to destroy everything in its path that they latch onto. So we created a product that is a sister product, we call it, to the family product, which is our flagship product called Tahitian Noni Juice, which is just simply a medicinal food plant. And this food plant is not grown here in the United States. It is grown in the South Pacific region over in Tahiti. That's why it was once called Tahitian Noni, because that is the brand. So if you know how important branding is, that way you know if you're getting the original product or not of the correct noni. And there's also something in our noni that is not found in the other nonis like Walmart or whatever noni brand that it is, and that's a bioactive compound called iridoids. And iridoids, to do your own homework on them, is spelled IRIDOIDS. They are a bioactive compound. They work on the biological frequency in your own natural DNA and your own cells, because the beautiful thing about people that use this product is it's regenerating cells in the body. So as these AGEs, which come from the sugar and protein that bind together in the body, that is what accumulates and formulates what's called AGEs in the body. So a lot of times I will just simply ask people, what is your true age? And they think I'm talking about their chronological age, and I'm talking about your internal age, your organs, your liver, your lung, etc., and etc. So as I begin to go more into looking into protein, since protein does play a vital role with the AGEs, I decided to go into what's going on with gluten and kind of go over 5 things that I felt like people need to know. Is it really necessary to turn our houses and homes into a gluten-free home without really understanding what is gluten and what role does it play and why is everything gluten-free today? So I'm going to kind of go over, I think I put 5 things here. I'm trying to go through my notes here. And the first thing I put down is understanding that gluten, it is a protein. It's a protein that can cause many, many problems. It's a major protein that's found in some grains. It is present in all forms of like wheat, semolina, farro, just different types of grains as well as barley, rye, et cetera, et cetera. And gluten can also kind of turn up in unexpected places like certain brands of chocolate, crab, imitation crab, dairy meats, soy, sauce, vitamins, and even some kinds of toothpaste, just to kind of name a few things that gluten can be found off inside of. So it can make some people really very sick, but not everyone. So I told people you probably don't need to completely avoid everything, because as I look into a disease out there called celiac, which is called celiac disease, some people, typically about 1% of the population, of gluten can be a matter of life or death. That's how serious, having this gluten in their system can bring them to life or death. But these people, like I said, they have a condition known as the celiac disease. So true celiac, as it's called, people are very sensitive to gluten, that even a small amount of it, like even just maybe a small trace of it, can begin to start damaging the lining of the small intestines in the celiac disease people. So it can lead to a host of health problems ranging from chronic diarrhea and abdominal cramping to osteoporosis and even risk of some cancers. So unless you are part of that 1%, and you would have to be having like special tests done from your doctor to really let you know if you're part of that 1% population, it's really unlikely that you will need to live a completely, gluten-free life, because protein has a part that it plays to the body. So gluten doesn't really make everyone sick. And so I think people just kind of heard the epidemic that's going on and started hopping on the bandwagon, really going after more expensive products that say gluten-free, but is it really necessary to be doing that? So with the significant increase in the gluten intake, I would say over about the last 50 years due to the overconsumption of products made with like highly refined wheat flour, we're just really beginning to appreciate the gluten's impact on our health. And as a society, we are in a state of what I would call gluten overload, and millions of people of all ages and all walks of life are suffering as a result of a condition that was recognized really only a few years ago called gluten sensitivity. So when people with gluten sensitivity eat foods containing gluten, it triggers unpleasant symptoms like stomach pains, bloating, heartburn, joint pains, headaches, skin rashes, fatigue, insomnia, brain fog, just to kind of name some of the most common ones for people that have a sensitivity to gluten. And although many of these symptoms are similar to those experienced celiac sufferers, if you turn out to be gluten sensitive, it probably won't require giving up gluten entirely. So I have found that like eliminating gluten for a few weeks and then gradually reintroducing it is the best way to assess your body's response to the gluten to determine, your own gluten threshold. So by gradually introducing gluten containing grains and other foods, you'll get an understanding of which of these foods or how much of them your body can process without triggering symptoms. That way, I tell people no one should know your own body better than you do. And the more you're educating and you're researching on what's going on with gluten, you probably will find out you're not even gluten intolerant. You've just been spending some money. So I'm not telling people they need to put gluten back in their house. I'm just saying, as you begin to weigh out the balance and assess your own body just little by little as you're using, unless you know for a fact you're in that 1% population that has that celiac disease, then I understand the disruption to the abdominal cavity and things like that it does. So it can be very, very life-threatening to use it. But some people that are not gluten sensitive, they're just really spending money because they see neighbors and church members and all kind of people buying gluten-free, and they're not even gluten-free sensitive. So actually, some people are trying to lose weight, and they're trying to figure out, why am I gaining weight? So that's another thing that I discovered, that living a gluten-free life can also make you fat. So some people who go off of gluten to lose weight, they end up actually gaining weight instead. So that's because they consume gluten-free packaged products that are often just as high in saturated fat, sugar, and sodium is like other junk food. And these products, they often contain high glycemic refined ingredients like white rice flour or fillers like potato starch, and they can affect your blood sugar, and trigger craving. So there it is, talking about sugar again. So people that are diabetics dealing with blood sugar levels and things like that, these AGEs attach on to that, and so it increases what's going on as the diabetes is also increasing. So number 5, I wrote down that, gluten is not something to fear. I like to tell people that they need to be gluten aware, not gluten phobic. This happens when they learn where they fit in on the gluten sensitivity spectrum and discover their own level of gluten tolerance. And on one end of the gluten spectrum, for example, are like some professional tennis players that have went more into them, who seem as they're doing, training or playing tennis matches or things like that, or they're in heavy competitions, they seem to have never felt sick. But when they drastically cut down on the gluten, they found increased energy that enabled them to win long more matches and kind of tough it out on the court more when they were previously before losing. On the other side of the spectrum, you have people who frequently feel like they've just kind of been hit by a bus when they wake up in the morning with headaches or stomach aches, joint pains, fatigue. And once they start paying attention to gluten in their diet, they wake up feeling great and kind of pop out of bed with that, just burst of energy. So not everyone is sensitive to gluten necessarily, has to be gluten-free. It is important since, everything is going on with the gluten thing out there. Everybody's trying to live a gluten-free life. Just make sure that if you haven't been diagnosed having the celiac disease, really understanding, are you doing yourself more harm than good by taking all of this gluten, which is a protein, and it does cause some problems, but it's causing problems for the people that are sensitive to it. That's why it's really important to know, are you sensitive to gluten, where you just, per se, yourself cannot have gluten. At least that way you've done your own gluten tolerance testing on your own body to know, because you don't want to actually be taking a protein out that you actually might really need just because you hear the fad going on out here in the earth that, hey, everything's going gluten-free right now, and everybody's flocking to buy what's gluten-free, and it's really popping up all over the shelves. Everything's going gluten-free, 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 gluten-free. But do we really need some of this protein in the body? And the answer is yes, we do. So that leads me into talking about how probably the main nutritional value of the meat is that they are great sources of complete proteins, because a lot of us are meat eaters, and so eating meat is also a great place of where we're getting our proteins, not just necessarily our grains, but our bodies have more than over millions of proteins that are specifically designed and shaped and positioned to do only one job. So many of the unique proteins, they have several 100,000 amino acids coupled in a specific order known as their primary structure. So the complexity of these uniquely designed living proteins is truly just mind-boggling, and that all goes back to the Most High, how He fearfully and wonderfully made our bodies. So evolution, I tell you, by chance alone, can't by any stretch of the imagination explain their origins. So we who have finally abandoned that old theory, we're left with only a supernatural, awesome creator. We know how we were created, and we believe in the creator that created our bodies. And so when he created our bodies in mind to have protein, it was the right protein before all the contamination and the hormones and all the different stuff came around. So he could give the body and the soul and the spirit that balance, of what it needed. So invariably, different animals classified as clean have animal flesh that is good for us until we, find a better way and start messing it up by adding these hormones and antibiotics and pesticides and by overfeeding. So I always tell people I recommend eating meat if you're getting that for your source of protein only from cattle that is raised without the hormones and the antibiotics or the pesticides. And this means we don't have to eat meat to survive, but if we do eat meat, it would be better if we eat meat that's range-fed, organic, or chemically-free meat, so we're getting a good batch of protein into our bodies. So, again, eating the things that the Most High created for food before they are changed. So the more we can learn about our foods from the food supplies, where is it coming from, are they consuming it? Are the animals grazing? Are they in the wild? I mean, we really need to be finding out what's going on with not only our breads but our meats. And it's sad that we live in a time and day where we literally have to Google everything, look up everything, but it's absolutely that necessary to make sure that we are not picking up lead poisoning, going through what the people in Flint are going through, and we're praying for them right now because it's just terrible that you can't even drink some water, which is another necessary nutrient that is needed for the body. That's why I'm so thankful for Dr. Truman having the silver colada leaf water, and I'm going to be getting me one of these generators here in about a week or two when I can slow down, doctor, to keep it around and have it on hand. And I've been telling other people about it. So I talk about a protein that Miranda has that we use with the noni. And the noni that we have, like I said, it is about 6,000 years old, that it's been around being used in the earth by many, many people that have received wonderful, wonderful health benefits, been able to come off many, many medications, and their lifestyle is just completely changed. So I give hope and praise to the Most High for releasing the plant to be able to come all the way from Tahiti over here today so we can get the nutrients that we need into our bodies. It does have 150 different living nutrients, and that's very key because it has been proven that these iridoids are on a frequency and that the nutrients that you are getting are actually alive. And that reminds me where the Most High said, I am not among the dead, but I am among the living. So even his spirit is inside of this Tahitian noni plant where it's giving your body living nutrients to go into your cells, regenerate the cells, remove toxins, remove the free radicals, and put the body back into optimal level health and regenerate the cells it needs. I tell people if you're new to this product, you need to make a commitment, if you can, to use it up to 120 days to really just see an overall difference in your health, because it takes 120 days to regenerate a batch of new red blood cells, and Dr. Truman can validate that. So usually just getting on your first bottle, some people have, different things they're dealing with, and they need to regenerate. That's why you hear your doctor talking about red blood cells, or you have damaged tissues and things like that. So this protein that we've designed called Rapid Fuel, it was also designed in mind to be able to reduce and manage the AGEs along with the Tahitian noni juice. The Rapid Fuel, it helps to manage the AGE levels by helping the body use the protein efficiently during exercise and also to stop the AGE formation before it starts. It was designed for serious athletes who compete at like very high levels, but its benefits can be felt and enjoyed by literally everyone. Young and old, active, inactive, professional, amateur, all alike. It doesn't matter how intense your workout is. Whatever you do for exercise, Rapid Fuel will deliver the energy and the protein made from the earth that you need to get better. The True Age Performance Rapid Fuel, it's a patented protein delivery system that matches the body's exact specifications, leading to instant protein absorption and immediate energy during exercise. Um, Exercise is also just as important. I tell people it's a component to managing AGE activity. So to keep the AGEs reduced, people need to be exercising. The True Age Performance Rapid Fuel.
Hello. Hi, I'm on a conference call right now. Would you like to join that conference?
The daily foods that we eat. So when we are inactive, our body
Yes, hello.
really use the protein and the sugar for their intended function.
No,
So the AGE, the Rapid Fuel, it does have the vitamins for your B6 and your B12.
Okay.
Also has core electrolytes in the protein.
I actually can't because I'm in the middle of a conference and I have a whole group of people before us right now. And I have to, but well, you can actually will be here for another hour and a half. So if you wanted to call the telephone number to join the conference, let me give you that number so you can do that. Hold on just a minute. Let me go grab that number. Where is it? Hold on. Yes, it was like a 503-606-6064. You got it? Oh, then give us a call and join that conference when you're ready, okay? Thank you very much. Okay, bye-bye.
So as much knowledge and education as we can get on it and share it with people so we can get people educated, they can get them scanned. We also have what's called a AGE scanner that can measure the AGE levels inside of your body. So if anyone is interested in getting scanned, it takes about 20 seconds, or you can also talk to your doctor. You can have it done through urinalysis or blood testing. People like the more sensitive approach where they can just simply lay their arm. It's kind of like having your blood pressure checked, and it reads through the skin through what's called a spectrometer, which is a light that's inside of the scanner, and it's looking to measure any excessive sugar and excessive protein that's in the body to kind of give them the age of where you are within your AGE level. So those are pretty much the benefits. Like I said, the Rapid Fuel can be used before, during, and after your workout. It is a proprietary blend from Earth's best ingredients. So for people that want to make sure they're getting protein from the earth, not from some animal that they got to figure out how is this animal fed, is it the right protein, because there's many different proteins that can be bad protein. So it doesn't necessarily mean you're getting the right protein. So this is a very high-tech protein, and so it's giving the body immediate energy release into the body, and it's getting the protein because of the patented delivery system that's on it. It goes straight into where it needs to go to fit your body's specifications and your own natural DNA, along with the four sources of the electrolytes for the immediate energy and the endurance. So if you're interested in getting scanned, you can be able to reach me at kshaw0026 at gmail.com, or you can reach me by phone at 469-443-2124, and Dr. Truman is going to give out the website if you're interested in ordering the Tahitian Noni juice or our sister product called Max. They do come in dosages of milligrams of iridoids, and the Tahitian Noni has the lowest dosage of 30 milligrams, all the way up to what we have in between, which would be our Max 120, and Max is a combination of noni. It's a combination of blueberry, a combination of cranberry, a combination of olive, and a combination of cannoli and cherry. So all five of these berries are combined together, and they all have iridoid activity in them. So it's what a blend called True Age Max, and then it goes all the way up to what we call the True Age Max Concentrate 360, which is the same blend as the Max 120, but it's on a concentrate level, and it has an iridor potency of 360 milligrams full strength. So that is pretty much all I have to cover today on gluten-free. Dr. Truman, if you can give us the website where if anyone's interested in taking the Rapid Fuel, if they're needing to get some extra protein, it does build lean muscle, which is also what protein is supposed to be able to do, along with giving energy to decrease body fat and increase lean muscle. So anyone that's needing to get that excessive protein, I know a lot of the seniors, again, that's something they're missing. They need lean protein. They need lean muscle, and I have a lot of them on the Rapid Fuel, and they're up and going, and they're moving faster than their children, and they're in their 80s. So it's a very, very powerful protein. So Dr. Truman, if you could give out the information and the website on where they can order this Rapid Fuel, and then I look forward to coming back next week. I'm not really for sure. I think I'm going to go into talking about the joints and the bones and how the AGEs eat away from being calcium deficiency in the joints and the bones, and how the AGEs play a role with that. If they'd like more information about AGEs, you can go to www.trusage.com, and there's a 3-minute video where you can actually see the scanner and pretty much get an overview of what I said. If you'd like to know more about what scientists and doctors are talking about the AGEs, all the way from autism to diabetes to high blood pressure, multiple sclerosis, you name it, it's out there, and these AGEs are attached to it. You can go to www.agefoundation, all one word, .com, and there's all type of articles and scientific research and all types of things you can go into. Just click on whatever link that you'd like to study on, and it'll just take you down memory lane. So with that, Dr. Truman, thank you so much. I'm going to mute out and look forward to what topics you're going to be coming out with today. As usual, it's always a pleasure to learn from you. So I'm going to turn everything back over to you now. That's all I have for today. Thank you.
All right. Okay. And that, once again, thank you so much, Sister Kashakia, for your encouragement and your presentation of valuable information that can remind us. A lot of us know about these kinds of things, but then again, it reminds us of the value of the True Age scanner. It reminds us of the value of not knowing about what AGEs are. And in today, then we learn more about proteins, and we're reminded about the value of proteins and so forth. And by the way, while Sister Kashakia was making that presentation, we are making a video of these broadcasts, and in that video, we're doing screen capture, where when she's talking about True Age scanners, you will be able to see that True Age scanner. Or if she's talking about AGEs, then you can see the reports in the video while she's speaking. So just know that that's happening, and that these reports are available in video, and they are up to date at this point. I think we've just about got all the videos current, which is very difficult to do. Last week's video is already up there, and it's on the internet. It's free. It's under herbalhealthreview.com, under Discoveries in Health. And when you click on that, that gives you all the information about our Thursday broadcasts. And so that's herbalhealthreview.com, Discoveries in Health. All these videos are there, and a lot more. Common condition reports, and a bunch of other videos from past events. Now, the telephone number that Sister Kashakia wanted me to give you so that you could get any of the products that she mentioned, you can call the folks for any of the products that we're talking about on these broadcasts. That telephone number to call is 541-791-8400. That's 541-791-8400. And that is the folks at betterhealthherbs.com. That's Health and Herbs in Albany, Oregon. And they are there. That's my granddaughter. Her name is Brittany. Say hello to her. And she has blessed me with 5 great grandchildren, and I love my grandkids, and they love their great grandpa. Have them over here all the time. Every day I've gotten some of them. We rotate them, so I don't get all 5 of them at the same time. And they all get to visit with grandpa, stay overnight, and so forth. And we play games, and it's just we eat food and so forth. One thing about kids, they love to eat. Anyway, the telephone number again for Health and Herbs in Albany, Oregon. That's 541-791-8400. 541-791-8400 in Albany, Oregon. And you can email them. That's healthinfo@healthherbs.com. Healthinfo@healthherbs.com. Okay, now you know how to reach the folks there at Health and Herbs, and the website is betterhealthherbs.com. And now you know how to get a hold of these products and all of the Noni products and all of the products that I've invented over these many years. Now, getting back over here, what didn't we do? Oh, I want to give you my telephone number in case you want to call me up. That telephone number is 503-362-5899. That's 503-362-5899. Let me see if I can grab that and put that up on the screen. 503-362-5899. Let me see if I can do that. I'm bringing up that, so doing a screen capture. And did I do it? Not quite. Okay, I'm almost there. Let's try to go for about and go for contact, and then I'll put that on the screen. And my email, if you would like to email me anytime, Truman@healthherbs.com. And there it is. I did a screen capture, and I think I did it anyway. It's kind of over there. There it is. There's the information, how to reach me. Truman@herbalhealthreview.com, and 503-362-5899, and go to my Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Truman, it's TRUMAN.BERST. There it is. You got all the information, and I put it on the screen capture so you could see it. Okay, did it. All right, now let's see if I can get that back over here, and see if I can close that yet. Nope, it doesn't want me to close it. What if I close that? Nope, it doesn't. I'll close them. Hey, it finally let me do it. Okay, so now I'm over here. We've given all the information, how to reach us, and put it even in screen capture so you can see it in the video after the broadcast. And I'm opening up all the mics in case anybody has a question. I want you to have an opportunity to ask your question, make your comment. Everybody gets a chance to have their say here. So I'm opening the mics, and if you have a question or a comment, please share it with us. And I'm almost got all the mics unmuted. and I've probably got an echo at this point, but there we are. All the mics are unmuted, even in Grenada and even in Atlanta, Georgia, and all across the USA. The mics are open. If you have a question or a comment, good time to let us know what that question or comment is now, please.